The following podcast contains alcohol-enhanced conversations about alcohol, as well as the potential for the discussion about topics of dubious, disturbing, possibly offensive, but usually hilarious interest. The opinions stated herein are solely of the persons making them, and any endorsement of these opinions by any other party is not implied. Foul language is likely, but intolerant viewpoints are not. Listener intoxication is advised. Hello and welcome to episode 43 of the Whiskey Tangent Podcast. I'm Scott.
I'm Ed.
And today we're continuing our erstwhile miniseries on finished whiskeys. Over the course of 2 years, we've built episodes around several different finishes, including new charred oak, rum, port, cognac, and spoiler alert, just 2 weeks from now, wine. But tonight, we'll be focusing exclusively on the whiskeys from a small, relatively new, but award-winning company that has a somewhat different approach to finishing. That company's name is Infused Spirits, and their brand of whiskeys is Broken Barrel. And once again, joining us on this solicited mega tasting is the mayor of Jackie's Crossing, mother of kittens, and newly minted event and marketing coordinator for the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, Shavonne.
Hey!
So sit back, pour yourself a dram of your favorite finished spirit, and listen in while Ed introduces you to all 4 of the whiskeys in Broken Barrel's core lineup that we'll be tasting, enjoying, and no doubt finishing, get it? Tonight.
We will finish them. Thank you, Scott. So we have 4 delicious samples sent to us by Broken Barrel Whiskey Company. We're going to start out with a California Oak, which is technically a bourbon finished with new French oak and ex-Cabernet barrels, which is coming in at 88 proof, 44% ABV. Then there's a Heresy Rye.
Heresy.
A rye that's finished in new French oak, ex-bourbon, and ex-sherry barrels.
Ooh.
And we'll talk about how they do all that.
Yes.
That proof's going to be a little bit elevated to 105, 52.5 ABV. Then there's a regular bourbon finished with new French oak, ex-bourbon, and the sherry, coming in at a proof of 95. And then a cask strength bourbon.
Yeah.
Same as the bourbon above, except only higher proof, which will come in at 116. So 4 different samples from an up-and-coming company that has won a lot of awards.
Yep.
At first for its vodka.
Yes.
And Seth, who is the owner and operator, he's built himself a nice little company, Scott. Tell the people about him a little bit. What do you got to say?
Yeah, I cobbled together from their website and various things that they sent us. They did contact us.
Yeah, email back and forth with their marketing manager. They're an interesting company.
Yeah, so in 2012, after experiencing the magic of fruit-infused spirits while on vacation, Seth Benhaim decided 2 things. 1, that the world was in desperate need of an infused spirit that offered a natural and simple process that anyone could understand, and 2, that he should be the one to create it. 1 year and a few hundred samples of natural infused vodka later, Seth, working out of his garage, launched Infused Spirits. Made with 100% real fruit and spices, each single bottle infusion follows a clean, simple recipe and is always handmade to ensure the highest possible quality. For their vodkas and bitters, they leave each natural ingredient in the bottle so you can actually see what's inside. In fact, they're the only infusion company that sticks to the philosophy of using real, natural ingredients with no added sugars, dyes, or artificial flavors. For their whiskeys, they did something a little different. After partnering with a distillery in Owensboro, Kentucky, and holding firm to the oft-debated notion that 80% of a whiskey's final flavor comes from the barrel, they decided that instead of finishing their whiskeys in barrels, they'd put barrels in their whiskeys.
What, Scott? How does that work?
Or more precisely, infusing their spirits with the staves of other broken barrels, hence the name Broken Barrel Whiskey.
Fascinating.
Nice.
And so, because of their unique process and commitment to quality, just 3 months after launching, Seth became the youngest brand owner to ever win Best in Show and double gold at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition at just 25 years of age.
For his vodka, right?
Yeah, for the vodka. With the company earning several additional awards, including their whiskeys, in the 8 years since. And today, Infused Spirits continues to work tirelessly and passionately to ensure that every bottle, whether it's vodka, bitters, or whiskey, is balanced, smooth, and bursting with flavor.
Right. So each of the whiskeys has a mash bill and an oak bill, which basically talks about what barrels that they have that have contributed to the flavor.
Yeah, it's a really cool concept.
So the first one that we're going to sample is their California oak.
Right.
Enamored with Kentucky but loyal to his home state of California, the founder Seth combined his two favorite states into one award-winning bottle. Distilled in Owensboro, Kentucky, the straight bourbon whiskey is finished with staves of ex-Cabernet barrels and new French oak. The charred virgin oak provides a common character found in wine while also rounding out the sweet dark fruit flavors bleeding from the freshly dumped wine barrels. Producing a marshmallow-forward, cherry-centered, and oak-heavy finish that nonetheless remains balanced and approachable. As Seth says, California oak was created as a bourbon that could seamlessly bring the wine drinker into the world of whiskey. So it's funny, we're doing a whiskey finished in wine episode in a few weeks. It'd be great to get, a larger, well, we're going to taste it first. Maybe it wouldn't be great, but I'm assuming it would be great to get, a bottle of this to use then.
Right. This would have been kind of like with it, but this came up out of the blue and they just sent us samples.
Right. Mash bill 70% corn, is 20% rye and 9% malted barley, which is pretty standard. And it's a good bourbon mash bill for me.
Yeah.
The oak bill, which they provide, which is really cool, 80% Central Coast Cabernet wine barrels and a 20% French oak.
Yeah.
And then it's 2 years.
Yeah. Because they call it a Kentucky straight bourbon on their label. And it needs to be at least 2 years to
You can get it for about 31 from Caskers.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we get it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely getting wine smells. That's absolutely true.
I'm getting corn, of course, because it's really a nice high corn mash bill.
I'm getting some oak.
I'm getting some California.
It smells like liberal politics and drought.
It smells like blue state.
It smells like
fire.
It smells like
fire.
I teach you to burn.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire. I teach you to burn.
All right, so what are we getting on the nose? Let's be serious for once.
For once in your life.
Be serious.
I mean, I definitely get corn. I get very traditional bourbon notes of oak and corn and vanilla.
You're not getting any like wine influence, any red.
I'm getting a dark fruits.
I'm definitely getting a cab sense.
Yeah. I mean, sure. I see what you're saying. I'm smelling the same thing.
Yeah.
Is anybody else getting a cinnamon?
Yes, they have.
Oh yeah. I can actually.
On the nose, they have bright red fruits, sweet corn, and bubblegum.
Bubblegum.
I get an overall sweetness, but I wouldn't have categorized it as bubblegum.
No, the bright red fruit and the sweet corn, absolutely. Bubblegum is I mean, what kind of bubblegum? Like regular bubblegum.
I mean, I'm assuming.
Did you taste it?
I did just taste it.
Okay.
Wow. I'm gonna say for 88 proof, it's really dense. And very deep flavored. This is better than I expected. I thought I might like this one the least, and I have to tell you, I like it a lot. It's very good.
You're right, Ed. It has a thick mouthfeel, and you can actually see it clinging to the glass, where I don't know if other 88 proofs would do the same thing.
What do they call that again? We have
Legs,
right.
yeah.
Legs.
Yeah. So it's like, I can get this for $31 from Caskers. Are you kidding me? This is really, really nice. What do you think, Shavonne?
I think it has a sophisticated density.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is really good. 88 proof. I taste the peanuts, peanut brittle, peanut butter.
Oh, I got something. Wait, you hear the tasting notes.
Okay.
Laugh. So it's toasted almond is what they say you should taste. You said peanuts. That's right. That's right in the wheelhouse.
Right.
Cherries, which I can't believe you didn't say.
Oh my God, cherries!
Your one chance to legitimize shelf.
God damn it, cherries is absolutely
and then a
there.
faint cinnamon on the finish.
Oh, cinnamon! There you go. So fun. Look at you. You had it on the nose, but same thing. You usually taste nose, palate.
Everything's coming up roses with this palette over here,
It's such
guys.
a great finish too. I completely agree. A medium to long finish, which I agree.
Yep.
With some alcohol burn and then an oak chaser. And I think that's pretty fair.
The finish is quite good. I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh.
I am really excited about this because I did not expect it
You're
to be
going to
this
forget
good.
it again now.
No, I did remember. So,
Jeez.
so I was being really careful about how much I drank because they sent us samples. They were very generous. They sent us 4 of their samples and they sent 120 milliliters of each one.
Right.
And we have 3 people doing, so we only have 40 milliliters each. So I wasn't really tasting the oak on the finish. But when you take a little bit more to actually take a sip instead of just like a little parsimonious little thing on your tongue, you can taste that oak chaser. Parsimonious. No, but it's very good. This is
for 88 proof is very complex
and extremely, like you said, surprising. I wish we did have a full bottle of this for 2 weeks from now when the ladies are on.
Maybe we can order it by then.
Maybe we can.
We have 2 weeks to get it in.
Maybe we can.
Let's call Seth and see if he can ship us one.
Yeah, I mean, it's not finished in wine barrels, but it's got wine barrels in it.
Yeah,
so
I
it's sort of the same. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll call Seth and see if he can ship us a bottle.
Hey, Seth.
Hey, Seth.
Hey, Seth. Hey, Seth.
It's only bourbon. Hey, Seth. Hey, Seth.
He's like, oh my God, you guys are so dumb. I'm sad I ever know you.
Why did we send these idiots?
He's like, stop talking about our whiskey right now. We won't because it's good. So let's continue.
All right. I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah.
Wow. Impressive. Listen, this is only 2 years. This is a 2-year-old bourbon. It is 88 proof.
It's very smooth.
And they put it in a vat and they put broken barrels in it.
Yeah, I mean, if this was somehow 4 years, like it might be exceptional. It's very good. I put it on the VG, very good spectrum.
Oh, I thought he was going to say
There's
vagina.
a little bit of immaturity on the finish, just a smidge, but I have to tell you right now, it's a damn good whiskey.
He just walked right off.
Yeah, he
over my
did. Yeah, you
joke.
missed it. The VG, the vagina.
I thought you were going to say vagina. He puts it right up there with vagina.
I put this right up there with vagina. What's above that? I don't know. I feel like I've set myself up in a corner.
You do.
No, but it's really good. California Oak. It's online. You can get it.
Right, $31 from Caskers.
Buy it up.
All right, so let's go into the second one.
With the Heresy Rye.
Heresy Rye.
Okay, so it's 105 proof. It is finished up with French oak, ex-bourbon, and ex-sherry. And so you have 3 different barrels broken up and thrown into it. And so before we taste it, Shavonne, tell us the particulars, if you will.
Sourced from the same distillery as our bourbon, this is a rye whiskey, unlike any you've ever tasted. Charred French oak gives a woody body to the spirit, while ex-bourbon and ex-sherry staves join forces to create a fiery yet balanced, smooth but uncommon taste and character.
Your body makes me woody, but go ahead.
I'm in love with the shape of you.
Call it sacrilegious, call it untraditional, but call it heresy. We won't be offended. But trust us, once you taste it, you may begin to question tradition yourself.
Maybe question ourselves. Question our place in the universe.
And question your sexuality.
Wow.
Mash bill is 95% rye and 5% malted barley.
Familiar.
So the oak bill, 40% French oak staves, 40% ex-bourbon staves, 20% sherry staves.
Okay.
And the proof is 105.
Right, so this is a little bit more of a kick than the other one. And by a little bit more, I mean a lot more, actually.
Yeah.
It's like 23% more proof. Everyone who's in the whiskey world knows the 95.5 rye model screams MGP.
It does, but apparently that's not where they get it. They get it from this Owensboro, Kentucky place.
Right, so it's interesting that there's a place in Kentucky that has mimicked the mash bill that is the most famous and popular rye in the sourcing
Maybe
world
they're
right now.
sourcing from MGP.
Wow, that would be
It's like a
really
double source.
fucking crazy. I mean, I guess MGP doesn't own the 95.5 mash bill,
No.
but it's like it's a natural conclusion to draw that they're making this there, not in Indiana.
It's okay. So on their website, it says this rye whiskey is distilled in Owensboro, Kentucky.
That's it. It's definitely not MGP's 95.5.
Definitely not MGP.
Any other stats?
Yes.
All right. So it is aged for less than a year. It's less than 1
No,
year.
no. At least 1 year. That's what that means.
Well, it doesn't say that. It says less than 1 year.
You're right. It does.
You're right, Shavonne. He has the
I reversed.
he has the symbol facing the wrong
Here, look,
direction.
I fixed it on my computer.
All right, come on, let's do
All
a
right.
better job. Everybody do better.
The price Caskers is $34.99.
Okay.
And it has received awards. The gold in rye whiskey category at the 2019 San Francisco Whiskey.
Spirits competition.
Yes.
San Francisco World Spirits Competition. I'm
Oh.
sorry.
Right.
The Shavonne say San Francisco World Spirits Competition.
San Francisco World Spirit Competition.
And now also say at least 1 year.
At least 1 year.
Okay.
And then say Ed is sexy.
Wait, let me say it again. At least 1 year.
Okay. And then say Ed is sexy.
Ed is sexy.
Yeah.
Oh, false.
And we'll be looping.
I'm kidding.
Just send that loop to my phone.
All right. So on the nose, let's see what we get.
Wow.
Very alcohol forward on my nose. It's actually burning my nose a bit.
This is the most interesting smelling rye. I don't think I've ever smelled a rye that smells just like this. It smells like, and I don't really mean this in a bad way because it's actually quite pleasant. It smells like wet wood, like a green wood smell.
I get that. It's very woody.
Yeah,
It's very wood forward, no doubt. Even way more wood forward than the California oak.
yeah.
Shavonne, give us the nose we should be getting.
So it's caramel, vanilla,
Right.
dark cherry, baked apple,
Oh, the apple. All right.
and cinnamon with musty rye spice and cinnamon red hots.
Musty. Oh, so, okay. On the nose, I should get red hots. Okay, hold on. I like red hots. Hold on.
I mean, the musty kind of wood smell is kind of what I'm getting.
I don't get
for
the cinnamon red hots at all.
Get the baked apple. I
I
definitely get the
apple a
baked
lot.
apple.
I get apple a lot.
Yeah.
I actually get a little bit of anise.
All right, let's taste it.
Really interesting smell. Like I said, it's
You know
like
what
nothing.
It's the combination of all of that.
Yeah.
That's all the combinations of those.
It's hard to separate all that. 'cause
Yes.
there's a lot on the nose.
Absolutely. That's why I think it's convoluted.
I'm actually getting some licorice.
Yeah, on the taste, absolutely.
Black licorice.
Anise all the
Yeah,
way.
all the way. Wow. Peppery, stronger than I expected. Though at 105, I should have been surprised. Complex.
Whoa, you know what? This reminds me a little bit of the Larceny Barrel Proof, where it had that really tingly clove anise spice on your tongue, and it kind of dances
Yeah.
on your tongue. That's kind of what this does.
People say baking spices all the time. I completely get baking spices right now. Like I really do. It's really strong for me. It's got tremendous clove, nutmeg like flavor. Not cinnamon so much as I try maybe cinnamon.
I mean, there's a fruitiness there too. I'm trying to figure out what the fruit is.
I mean, dark fruits, cherry.
This is so just like the smell was.
Yeah.
The taste is so different than any rye that I've ever had.
Give us the tasty notes.
So you
please.
ready?
Please.
Surprisingly oily and chewy with caramelized apple skins,
Wow.
orange and spicy grain.
Okay.
So you ready for the finish?
Yep.
Sure.
Cinnamon and fucking red Twizzlers.
No. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that.
Shavonne has been waiting for 2.5 years for a tasting note to have red Twizzlers.
I can't argue with it. There is definitely a sweetness at the end. That not having a red Twizzler to compare it to, I can't say what it is.
Oh, I bet Shavonne has red Twizzlers in her apartment.
I do.
Shavonne, pause it.
Well, we're going to pause it and get some red Twizzler. All right, so we're all back. We all cleansed our palate with some red Twizzlers from Shavonne's apartment, visited her lovely cat, Carly, and her bitch cat, Madison.
A little bit standoffish. A bit standoffish.
A bitch standoffish. Oh, no, they're sweet cats.
No. I mean, they are, but definitely
Right,
not.
but
Definitely not playful.
Madison was not having any of our
No.
She wanted nothing to do with your shenanigans.
nothing.
I literally just swallowed Twizzler. So
Right. So let's see if that enhances the rye that is supposedly have red Twizzler on the finish.
it's a really good rye for what it is. Only a year old, which is unbelievable to me. The complexity of this whiskey.
I mean,
yeah, for $35 too. I mean, think of all the ryes that I get in my life. So whether it's Pikesville or it's Willet or it's Bulleit. We just got a couple bottles of WhistlePig Cask Strength 10 year.
We did.
119 proof.
We did. Probably do a quick taste on that.
We will. And this is every bit as spectacular as any of them. It's a great whiskey.
And the red licorice that they said that they tasted on the finish of this, because we ate it and then we drank some more. If it was incompatible in any way, we'd have tasted that.
Wow.
It was really smooth. You drank that right after the Twizzlers and it was just like same taste. It's delicious.
I think it's the combination of the oily too. Mm-hmm. As you know, Twizzlers are a little,
Yeah.
they got that waxy.
yeah, the
you know.
waxy feel to them.
Right.
You know, it's nice that Seth and Infused Spirits has reached out to us and they give us samples and we try them. But we weren't really sure what we're going to get. You know, I'll be honest. We have talks. We're like, what if we don't like it? How do we handle it? You know?
Right. You don't know. And
don't
these
know.
are really young whiskeys.
Yeah, we thought about
Yeah.
that. We did our research. Like, you know, like what if we don't like them? But honestly, the first two that we've tried, the California Oak and the Heresy Rye, have been really good whiskeys. belying the fact that they're very immature.
Yeah.
So I have to take my hat off to Seth and the gang out there at Broken Barrel. These are very good whiskeys. I can't wait to try the 2 bourbons.
Yeah, so for these 2 whiskeys, at least,
Yeah.
their finishing process of putting broken barrels into a vat of the dumped barrels
Yeah.
works.
It makes it a lot more mature tasting.
Yeah.
It adds a much deeper complexity to the finish. And so the California Oak and the Heresy, to me, without a doubt, at the price of $31 and $35 is a buy and a buy.
Yeah. What do you think, Shavonne?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love them both. I think the second was a lot smoother.
Okay.
Interesting. I feel the opposite, but I'm impressed that you said that.
You just have to counter whatever I say. See how this goes. We will be married and divorced in Vegas.
Right. Sure, we can get married on the porch in Vegas.
Continue.
So I liked it, and then I just poured both of them together.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, she
And-
just made like a little 2-bottle infinity
She
bottle.
did what I usually do.
Yeah, and it's even better.
Was it?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
well,
was great.
Well, shit, I'm going to take a taste of each and then do exactly what
Yeah,
Shavonne did.
but I want to get a cube.
Yeah,
so
and my glasses are
I'm gonna get a
empty.
cube.
So
All right, so then why don't we take a quick break to set everything up for the 2 bourbons, and we'll be right back.
So we're back now. We have the bourbons in our glass.
Yeah.
So take us through what we're about to drink.
So for the bourbon, they say that we partnered with an incredible world-class Kentucky bourbon distillery to select the finest bourbon base for our products, aged a minimum of 1 year in new charred oak barrels. The bourbon is dumped in steel tanks, where each batch of Broken Barrel is hit with new French oak staves, ex-bourbon barrel staves, and a blend of ex-sherry cask staves. Rich, complex, layered, and beyond beautiful, Broken Barrel bourbon boldly goes where other whiskeys won't, and we wouldn't have it any other way. So this is a finished Kentucky bourbon. Its mash bill is 70% corn, 21% rye, 9% malted barley.
Interesting.
Same as the California oak.
Yep.
Its oak bill is 40% French oak, 40% ex-bourbon, 20% ex-sherry. The proof is 95, and its price is about $37.
All right, so this is the same mash bill as the California Oak, but the same oak bill as the rye.
Correct.
Interesting. All right. And
Correct.
that's in our crystal glasses?
That's in our Target crystal glasses. Yes.
All right. And Target is not a sponsor. But if you'd like to be a sponsor, please send a check for $10,000 to Whiskey Tangent Podcast.
WhiskeyTangent@gmail.com.
I immediately get a berry on the nose.
Do you? Okay.
That's fair. I definitely get some fruits.
Oh, it's so interesting. This has another interesting nose.
I mean, damn, Seth. You're making some serious whiskey out there.
I'm getting some cinnamon.
I'm smelling like the green wood again. Like if you take a sapling and you bend it, the green flesh underneath of it.
Oh, for Christ's sake. Sorry, Seth, but Scott's being extra right now. Even Seth is like, damn, Scott.
No, but that's what it smells like to me. Okay, so on the nose, they say intense butterscotch. Do you guys smell butterscotch?
I mean,
It's in there somewhere.
I can't say I don't smell butterscotch. But
Right,
it's
that's what I'm saying.
no,
Like it's
Okay, so the rest of it I
I smell like a burnt thing. Like there's like a burnt forward smell to me. But go ahead.
Interesting. Okay, so the butterscotch I do not smell, but the rest of these I do. Followed by hay, lemon, green grapes with a hint of fennel and almonds.
All right. I don't smell a lot of lemon, but I mean fennel. I mean, wow, these are really kind of like
Fennel.
off the
Yeah.
track smells for
Yeah,
me. Like,
yeah.
does your whiskey smell like fennel? I don't know. Does it?
I actually have fennel.
what's wrong with you?
I have a fennel bulb. So fennel, when you
Yeah.
chop it up, has a very slight anise smell to
Wow.
it.
I mean,
And taste.
Well, why do you have a fennel bulb in your anise? Is what I'm wondering. Get the fennel bulb out of your anise.
All right, so let's taste it.
Yeah. What's your tasting notes on this? I get peanuts.
What,
Wait.
say that again?
Yes.
I have some peanuts notes.
Okay,
And,
thank you.
So you heard what I heard.
I did.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could definitely cut the tea off, everybody. No, I don't. It doesn't have penis notes. Sorry, Seth. It doesn't have penis notes. It definitely has peanuts,
Got you.
like a peanut.
Peanuts.
I'm getting a woody. Kind of.
Come on, Shavonne, give me a chance to recover from the penis comment before you go Woody on me.
I mean, like, I'm just talking, like, just, that's what I taste, right? And,
I know that's what you taste.
As soon as I say it, I mean, it's just like everything turns into second grade.
I know.
You know?
Welcome to the Whiskey Tangent Podcast. Peanuts. Yes. Wood? I don't know. I mean, the peanuts is so obvious to me.
Yeah, it's the first thing I tasted.
It's immediate. It is sweet.
Lightning struck within 4 miles. Keep an eye out.
Okay. Thank you.
If it comes in the window and kills me, at least I'm drinking whiskey while I die. So I'll be all right.
We got thunderstorms in the area.
And then we'll have to figure out a way to jerk you off.
Oh, wow.
Right before you, that one last time.
Just
Oh
a
my
one
God,
last time.
That's so nice of you.
Isn't that nice?
Right?
Wait, I'm getting
As you're
tears.
shuffling off the mortal coil,
Yeah.
you will also be
I-
coming off the mortal coil.
And plus, she'll get a little bit of a buzz from the residual electricity while she's doing it. Like,
Right, because the lightning would
Right.
strike
And
you,
the-
not touching her.
Right.
like just for compassion,
Right.
like
Yeah, just like, I'm
support.
sorry you have to do
Oh, my
this.
You need me to help?
And scene.
Right.
And Seth is wondering what the fuck psychopaths he partnered with for
What
this fucking episode.
have I done?
Seth, I'm sorry, we're crazy, but your whiskeys are amazing, and our fans, all 12 of them, will love it. The hundreds of fans we have.
All right, so on the palate, let's see if
Yeah.
we taste these things. We've tasted for a while. We weren't beyond peanuts and sweetness and
wood.
woodiness.
Yeah, oak.
So on the palate, they say caramel and oak. There you
Yeah.
go. Followed by vanilla, raspberries, and honey.
All right,
Interesting.
hold on.
That's interesting because there is a fruity sweetness here, but raspberries is not where I was going.
I mean, I get a little bit of honey. I don't get raspberries at all. I really just tried right there.
No.
I went deep into the taste trying to figure it out. Mm-hmm. I can taste honey, but
This-
not raspberries.
This
So-
tastes more like the apples that they say that you get on the smell.
yeah, I can see that.
Like a tart green
Right.
apple. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, these are really good.
This is a very sophisticated taste.
Yeah.
For how young it is, I mean, I am seriously impressed with how Broken Barrel makes their whiskeys taste so complex and so young. It has to be your infusion of wood staves that makes this youthful and immature whiskey so complex. So the 95 proof bourbon is delicious, and I can't wait to slide over the cask strength because I have really high expectations for it.
Seriously,
Holy fuck.
wow.
I mean, we are getting hit with thunder and lightning like you wouldn't believe out here.
That was very close.
Are we
Like
on the
way
Gulf-
too
Are we on
close.
the Gulf Coast all of a sudden? Are we in like Mississippi? Are we in Biloxi?
Wow. We were hearing the sparks of the lightning strikes in our headphones.
Yeah, like that's not good, right?
It's not good.
I have mine off.
So we're going to take a thunderstorm break.
Yeah, why do you still have your headphones on?
Yeah, we'll be back.
Lightning break. Okay, so we're back, and the lightning has abated a bit. So now we are going to taste the cask strength version of the bourbon that we just had, which is same thing as the other one, but it's 116 proof.
Wow.
Once again, we feel very, very impressed with 3 previous spirits that we've tried.
There's more on the nose here.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's less of the grassy hay kind
Yeah.
of things before, and it's sweeter. I'm getting a little bit more of the sherry finish, I think, from the sherry barrel.
Yeah, I see that. I get a little green apple
yeah.
on the nose and some honey.
I smell Easter Sunday Easter egg coloring.
Oh,
like
my
a
God. Childhood memory.
vinegary
Yes.
kind of thing. Interesting.
Interesting. I just get sweet.
Wow.
I
And
do get some sweet, yeah.
not even a caramel. Like I'm just get sugar. It's interesting. Scott, what do you get?
Very nice nose.
Thank you.
Oak. Siobhan, you have a very nice nose.
Thank you.
Ed, yours is not bad.
I'm a little bit of a button nose.
So on the nose, you are supposed to taste piercing notes of spicy ground cinnamon.
Wow, piercing.
Piercing. Dried cherries and butterscotch. Again,
I mean, I do smell butterscotch on this. I have
Now,
to say that's
yeah.
pretty clear for me.
I agree. And I do smell the cherries too.
really, I don't smell the butterscotch, but like a fruity dried cherry, I guess. Oaky with resinous notes of aged lumber. I absolutely smell that. Sap and varnish. See, I'm getting all the savory undernotes. It says fairly dry on the nose, not much sweetness. Let's taste it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. After all that lightning.
Hands down, this is the best out of all of them.
I mean,
and that is my opinion.
I feel like
This has a smokiness to it that I can certainly respect.
Interesting.
I mean, they're all good.
They are all good, but there's something about...
He needs to make more and get it out there, because I feel like the only thing limiting Broken Barrel is their own ability to distribute, because this is great whiskey.
This is terrific. This is better to me than the bourbon. It's got so much more different flavors coming at me. Wow.
Yeah. Like sugar cookie on the finish and like a shortbread in a way. Delicious.
It's spicy.
It is definitely
Very
spicy.
Yeah.
Dark cherries.
I get the cherries.
Butterscotch for sure all the way through. We hear that a lot tonight. I haven't tasted a lot, but I definitely taste it on the cast round.
All of the baking spices. I taste clove. I taste cinnamon. Cardamom. There's a little bit of citrus in there.
I mean, do you taste citrus where?
It's in the mid palate, and it's almost an orange.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I honestly, I'm mind fucked by the way that they put the wood into the mix. It is making flavors that I've never really experienced before, especially not a whiskey that is this immature.
Yeah, listen to the palate here.
I'm really impressed by it.
Yeah, so the palate says silky body, robust tongue burn.
Oh my God, it sounds like my match profile.
Robust tongue burn, which hits immediately. Spicy with significant rye spice notes of clove, cinnamon, star anise, and maraschino cherry.
Interesting, all right.
The sweetness of the corn finally comes through with a fudgy kind of caramel and marshmallow thing. That's actually
a marshmallow thing.
Yeah, that's actually what they say.
I get that sweetness.
I don't quite get the fudgy. Let's
I don't either.
Let's try to taste the fudginess.
It's on the finish or on the palate?
Just the palate.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't get that at all.
No, and
maybe marshmallow, because I get sugar, and sugar and marshmallow are synonymous.
Yeah,
I mean, they're really a little different.
Right, if you get a lot of sugar and a lot of vanilla, you're going to get some marshmallow,
Yeah, I mean, they're really similar.
On the finish, it says medium long and tannic, a reprise of the aroma notes, dry woods and spices, evolves a bit of candy corn, honey and corn syrup, and dry cocoa powder before fading.
Really?
I mean,
this is from Scotch Noob. I'm sorry, this is not their tasting notes. This is Scotch Noob.
What's there?
I don't know.
We had it for everything else.
No. Actually, those were not there. So the California Oak tasting notes were from Bourbon and Banter.
All right.
The rye ones were from Whiskey Wash, as was the bourbon, and the cast strength bourbon is from Scotch.
Well,
Noob.
it's nice that he's having reviews from the major reviewers out there.
Yeah, it's really cool. Oh, I didn't add water on it.
I've added water, and it definitely opened up some of the flavors.
It did.
Cool. So now we're going to take a break, set up a Zoom call, and talk to Seth from Infused Spirits.
Hello.
Hey, Seth, how are you? I'm Ed.
How you doing, guys?
Nope, Scott, your audio's not working.
All right, let me get this right. Hold on.
But I hear you now. It's so unprofessional. We're embarrassing ourselves about that.
Every single podcast, and I am the host of my own podcast, and I've done 50 different episodes, and it's always like this.
Choose which apps can I? Okay.
But I'm hearing you.
So when can't you hear me?
When I can. Right now I can.
So Seth, can you hear me?
I hear you both perfectly. You guys are both coming through to me.
Outstanding. So where are you at right now? What hotel? Where are you in?
I'm in Las Vegas.
Oh, Vegas.
Awesome.
It's rough life.
Yeah, we're just staying right by where I'm having dinner at the sushi spot. So at the Rio.
All right. So give us a little bit of a bio background on you. I know it was 2012 when you started Infused Spirits. Is that correct?
Correct. I was 24 at the time, and I set up shop in my grandmother's garage and just went to town on some vodkas with fruit in them and got excited about that, got excited about the industry, and went on to launch bitters and whiskey 2017. And the Broken Barrel story kind of began somewhere in the middle of all that, and now we're making quite a bit of whiskey, and it's growing quite a bit.
So you hadn't originally intended to do whiskey, and that just came about because you were distilling?
Two answers to that. I got into the industry to make our infused spirits vodka because it was a very unique concept, and I was learning how to do anything in the spirit. I was 24. I didn't know anything. I was learning from a Scotch whiskey expert and importer who was the owner of Alexander Murray single malt Scotch whiskey. So I was drinking 20, 30, 40-year-old Scotches when I was 24, sometimes twice my age. And I fell in love with whiskey then, and it never left me. So I was drinking a lot of whiskey in my personal time, but pursuing the concept of the vodka that my Scotch friend had invested in. So it just felt really great to bring him a whiskey several years later and say, look, now we've got a whiskey brand together. Who'd have thought?
Let me ask you a question. What was it like to win awards at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition when you were 25 years old? I mean, that had to be validating.
Yeah, there was a whirlwind of awards that kind of came about 2013 to 2015. And it was crazy. Kind of take this concept of fruit in a bottle of vodka and then to take it to market, see people purchasing it. But then the validation of the awards, the Best in Show, double gold, youngest person at the time to ever win the award as a brand owner. We were 3 months in business, so maybe youngest company. And that was followed up by New York World Spirits, double gold Best in Shows. And, you know, for those listening, you pay to enter. It's like $500 a bottle plus 2 sample bottles. So $630 per brand. So if you want to enter 4 brands, you're well over $2,400. It's expensive to even participate. So once we had won over 75 awards, I'm kind of like, all right, let's stop spending all of our money doing this because we're going to do some marketing or something with that money, right?
Right.
Well, when the awards start to feel stale, we'll come back and we'll do more award shows.
So the vodkas, you infused the fruit right in the vodka. And then so when you started doing whiskey, was it the natural extension to take that infusion idea to the whiskey and use the barrel staves?
We took the idea and we were deciding, you know, are we going to put wood in the bottle? Now that product does exist. You know, the idea that we shied away from came out. It's called Oak and Eden. I've not tried the product, so I can't speak on it. But they do a little oak spiral. And they actually weren't the first. There was a brand out of Chicago or out of Illinois that had done that with a clear white whiskey and an infusion spiral attached to the neck of the bottle. And you got to do it yourself.
Oh.
So you can kind of see like these evolutions of these like ideas kind of playing out. But I never wanted to put oak and splinters and wood chips and stuff in the bottle because that's not a whiskey I would want to drink. You know, I don't mind a little bit of fruit particles and stuff in my vodka because I drink orange juice with pulp. I mean, it's no different. So with the whiskey, I was like, you know, I like a clean whiskey. I don't want sediment and oak sawdust stuff coming out in my whiskey if I can avoid it. You know, sometimes you get a good cast strength from the barrel, unfiltered. I don't mind those, but wood stave is inevitable. You're going to get wood particles. So I went a little bigger and we put the staves in the tank. So we dump the barrels in the tanks or totes or whatever size batch we're doing. We use 1,000-liter totes for single barrels. And then we use for our batches, that's our rye, small batch bourbon, and our California oak broken barrel bourbon. Those 3 products, we do those in big tanks. So lots of barrels dumped, lots of barrels broken, lots of staves added.
Okay, so that was my question. You don't put anything in the barrel.
No, you get the classification of bourbon or rye,
Right.
Straight bourbons and straight ryes, a minimum of 2 years. The oldest whiskey we have access to is 4 years, which is just about the oldest that Green River Distilling in Owensboro, Kentucky has.
Okay.
But we found through hundreds of taste tests and in-store tastings, online surveys, award shows that we talked about, the effect of putting an entire stave. And people like Colorado 291 or Maker's Mark can attest to this. Big recognized brands, stave finishing is not the same as barrel finishing. It's a quicker process. And you actually run the risk of over oaking if you're not making considerations on the temperature. because what I've learned over the last 9 years in infusing fruits into vodkas is think about a tea bag, cold water, hot water. One color comes right out and the other takes a little bit longer to make that happen. So this process, we call it our oak bill to complement our mash bill because we do use combinations of oak. Every bottle has a little table on there, and it actually shows you the oak bill and the mash bill. You've got that. Yeah, you got the sample.
Yeah, Mike sent us the samples. Yeah,
exactly.
I noticed a lot of your bottles say at least 1 year. One said 2 years, which was your 88 proof.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about why that one got to be 2 years and the other ones were at least one. They could be older, but they're at least one.
Yes. 1 to 3 on the small batch cask strength and rye.
Okay.
2 to 4 on the California oak, which came out a year after the other product. So main ones were the small batch, the rye, and then cask strength bourbon. Those all came out between 2017 and 2019. And then in March of 2020, pre-pandemic, we went to market with the California oak. And then 2 weeks later, the world shut down. So it was a challenge. With launching a product in the face of a pandemic was a big unknown factor for us. But anything we created after 2020, any new products, we were going to utilize those 2 to 4 year old barrels. So as the newest product to the lineup, it was registered from day one as a straight bourbon. We have now got a brand new entire lineup of labels, bottles, custom everything from head to toe on the bottle. Those launch in August in select markets. They'll be online on flaviar.com, who's a big partner for us. We're actually going to be even doing some exclusive products with them, including an American whiskey and a couple special projects that I'm working on that I'm very excited about. We're going to do our own Rock and Rye, which is a blend of corn and rye whiskeys at 100 proof, but we're putting a Seth twist on it. My dad's from Marrakesh, so we're going to do a Maroc and Rye, which is the French spelling of Morocco, Maroc. And when you say it quickly, Moroccan Rye, it just sounds like Moroccan rye. And we did that with our Isle of Pete whiskey, which was Isle of Pete. When you say it fast, sounds like I love Pete. So we do these fun little word games. But so what's that?
Wait, who's there? Because Mike is with you.
I got two guys over here sipping on some other whiskeys.
Great, man.
We got a whiskey tasting going on the sideline here.
Actually, I'm sitting here with Shavonne, our event and marketing manager, who she does a little bit of everything for us. So she's sitting in.
So you do source your whiskey. So you mentioned one company in Kentucky.
Yes, we work closely hand in hand with Green River Distilling.
Okay.
We've been partners with them since 2017. So we are one of their original clients, one of the first few. And we actually were buying whiskey from them and shipping it to our vodka processing facility and bottling facility, where we did all the cutting and prepping and peeling of all the fruits. And those two guys over there in the room, Mike and Andrew, who are our operations and marketing manager, three of us have been coming out here to Las Vegas, which is where we make the vodka. That's why we're here today, kind of religiously making whiskey here ourselves with the barrels that we receive from Green River.
I have all the samples, by the way. I might just drink them all before Scott gets to them. Just you might have to. Mike might have to send more. I'm so tempted right now to tear these open. You don't even know I'm being so well behaved. There's 4 of one. I could drink one, and we could talk about 3.
Well, there you go. You got 100 plus milliliters, so you can do a little now and a little.
Yeah,
bit.
120. I figure I could take 20 off of all of them, and nobody would notice.
Nobody would notice. Nobody would notice.
So to follow up on the sourcing of the whiskey, you also source the barrels. Where do you get all these barrels from?
Oh, yeah, good point.
So Green River uses Independent Stave for their new American oak, which ages the whiskey first, traditional Kentucky bourbon. But then we step in and we start taking sledgehammers and shattering barrels, and then we dump those staves in. And again, just about staves, the back, the front, all the attributes of the barrel are in contact.
So real quick, I want to ask you about your, I guess it's a special release, your Japanese Mizunara oak.
Mizunara. So we did a very weird thing. We launched 3 different products because a lot of you guys and listeners, if you go online, you look us up, you may see a bottle called Infused Spirits Whiskey, and then it'll say below Broken Barrel Bourbon. We moved that up, got rid of the infused spirits, and that was phase 1. And phase 2 is a whole new bottle. And as sort of a coming out party for the name Broken Barrel, we did 3 specialty bottlings. We did the Cask of Amontillado, which was Spanish sherry finish,
The Edgar Allan Poe reference there.
Yeah, the Edgar Allan Poe reference.
Yeah.
And there's beautiful artwork. One of my best friends in the world is an artist. He did the work for the Cask of Amontillado. My amazing wife did the reconfiguration of royalty-free Japanese woodblock print artwork. She did the Mizunara. And then I found an artist I liked online as well who drew some amazing artwork for the Isle of Peat, which was a peated Scotch barrel-finished blend. And each one of the blends is different. The ages range from 1-year-old to 12-year-old. It's all over the map. There's wheat whiskey in there. There's corn whiskey. There's bourbon. There's light whiskey. There's single malt whiskey in there. All three of those whiskeys are pretty radical. I recommend checking them out. But the Mizunara was probably the most well received. It's our highest awarded spirit ever at 95 points.
Wow.
From USA Spirits Ratings, and we got a double gold from San Francisco on the Isle of Peat. So
That's
really
great. Tell Mike you forgot to put that in the box.
Mike, we forgot to put that in the box.
We only have 3 shippers at a time. 3 bottle shippers. So they couldn't put this in. So next week.
I think I heard him say he'll get it out next week.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We'll hold him to that.
And for those of you listening that live in Las Vegas, I did see some Amontillado and Isle of Peat at Lee's Liquors. No Mizunara. There is no Mizunara left in this country. It is gone.
Are you guys in Jersey? Do you know?
We are in Jersey. Yep.
Okay.
Really, that's exciting.
Hunterton Distributing, part of the Sheehan family group of distributors. We love those guys.
Okay, yeah.
They're beer wholesalers, and they're awesome.
Real quick, before we let you go, I really want to thank you for coming on, and you know, for anyone who wants to try a good whiskey company that cares about what they're doing and is being creative, Broken Barrel Whiskey Company with Seth and the gang are doing some really exciting things. You said you do gins as well, or you don't do gins? No,
vodka, whiskey, and bitters. That's it.
Vodka. Well, that's enough. That's enough. You know,
products. Yeah, we got a lot of products, and we got more coming out. We're all working out of California. We have a bar. We have a barrel room with about 30 barrels in it now, and we've got a distilling license, a 26-gallon pot still, and column still.
Oh, cool.
And this next half of this year, 2021, the back half is going to be a renaissance for Broken Barrel, truly. I mean, barrel picks. We're going to have a special release on tastersclub.com. A lot of stuff, like I said, on Flaviar and Caskers.com. We'll have our own stuff on our own website available. We're going to have some special releases coming out all over California. We're doing a collaboration with Modern Times Brewery, big house out of San Diego. Crazy.
Awesome.
So are your bitters around the country too, or are they available online?
Those are on Amazon.
Exciting.
Cool.
See, that's good. We didn't know that, so I can get them online. That's at Amazon.
We have on our website cocktails, mocktails, baking, and cooking recipes. We cover the gamut. And we think all bitters should be really thought of quite dynamically.
Well, Scott and I are both divorced, so we have a nice supply of bitters with us at all times, but we're always looking to expand on that.
What kind of bitters?
All our whiskey tastes naturally bitter to a point.
The divorce recipes will be in the 5th category.
Yeah, the divorce bitters.
Well, listen, if we ever make it out to LA, we'll definitely look you up. And if you're around Philly or New York or somewhere, let us know. You know, we'll get together.
Yeah, absolutely, guys.
All right. Enjoy Vegas tonight, everybody. I'm sure you guys are going to go to bed early.
Yep. 6 o'clock. Lights out.
Lights out. Early day tomorrow. All right, guys. Seth, thanks so much for coming on. Once again, it's Broken Barrel Whiskey Company. Seth and the crew are going to go hit Vegas. Scott and I are going to go to bed and go to work tomorrow. So rock on, everybody. Cheers. Thanks.
Later.
Take care. Thanks again.
Thank you.
All right. So that's it. That was great.
Yeah.
Final thoughts.
These were 4 whiskeys. We hope to get 1 or 2 that we enjoyed. We got 4 that we enjoyed.
Yeah.
I'm blown away by it and very, very impressed.
I would buy all of these again. I really would.
Totally would, yeah.
Yeah.
But for different reasons, right?
Yes.
The 88 proof California oak, I would absolutely buy for someone that I was trying to get whiskey into, especially if they were into wine.
Right.
That absolutely.
Yeah.
The Heresy rye, I'd be like, you like ryes? This is one of the most unique ryes that I've ever had.
At 105 proof, it holds up. You can do a lot with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then the bourbons, I mean, if you like bourbon, you're absolutely going to love the lower expression. And if you like higher stuff like me and Jeff,
Right.
you're going to love the higher expression.
It's very good. It goes down smooth with water, without, with ice, without. It's great.
This was a pleasant surprise this episode. We had the chance to really taste whiskey from an innovative company that is up and coming. I anticipate 5 years from now that Broken Barrel Whiskey Company will be a household name in the whiskey industry. Just the way that barrel spirits came on and some of the newer companies have made an impression.
There are so many different types of barrels that they could use in this infusion process that they've developed. They could get barrels from anywhere. They could get sherry or cognac or port.
So, unicorn tears.
Unicorn tears. Shavonne's virgins that she milked from her closet. I mean, there's so many.
What?
Sorry. Episode 42.
Yeah.
So
for the Whiskey Tangent Podcast,
I'm Ed.
I'm Shavonne.
I'm Scott.
Thanks so much for tuning in. And thanks to Broken Barrel Whiskey Company. And if you're interested in trying new whiskeys, seek them out, find them, drink them, love them. Cheers, everybody.
Bye.
Later.
If you enjoyed this podcast episode, be sure to check out our next episode, which is way better than this one.
Oh, yeah.
Also, follow and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Whiskey Tangent. And follow us on Twitter at Whiskey Tangent. You can follow me personally at That Whiskey Guy. And follow Scott at Giant Cup of Awesome, spelled AWSUM, just to be annoying.
Hey!
You can email us any questions, comments, or love at whiskeytangent@gmail.com. And of course, you can find us always at our podcast website, whiskeytangent.podbean.com.